shit, I cannot wait. All right, Adam, what is up, dude?
Yo, what's good, dog? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm awesome, man. Thank you so much, first and foremost, for taking the time today. I'm so stoked to be digging into, you know, what we got planned for today. So how's everything on your end, my man?
I'm just chilling. Vince from Bovice and Thieves is actually moving. We're moving his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, boys.
Perfect.
We're moving all the heavy stuff. I got to take a break.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. Well, dude, let me say, you know, first of all, like I mentioned, I really appreciate you taking the time. And I like to, you know, have this opportunity as far as for, you know, guests to be able to tell their story and, you know, the personal experience for how they've gotten into music and how they've gotten, you know, to where they are today. I'm so stoked to be able to talk about Bovice, you know, and you helping out as far as including a track for the Best of the Midwest compilation that just went live yesterday.
Dude, yo, thank you for
so
asking us,
appreciate it.
That fucking sick. I appreciate it.
I absolutely, yeah, it's funny too because like I believe we kind of came more or less in contact when I had interviewed Beaver. And then, you know, we kind of started getting in contact and talking. And I was like, wait, holy shit. Okay, I know Bovice. Like, I absolutely fuck with you guys. So I'm like, this rules. We're absolutely going to get this figured out. So shit, yeah, it's awesome.
Cool,
you know,
man. Thank you.
Dialing it back a little bit, you know, as far as, you know, you being a little kid or when your introduction was, what were, you know, the earlier memories as far as where you initially started gaining interests of your own as far as music-wise?
Well, like when I was a kid, I remember going to, I was in 5th grade, and we had a trip to go see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the Chicago Theater. And I was like, all right, word. My fucking mom loves Donny Osmond and shit. I was like, all right, sick. So we go there, we see the show, it's cool, whatever. Fucking, we're getting on the bus to go back, and I see these dudes on buckets, like, fucking slamming out, and, like, I was like, that's fucking cool, dude. And, like, I would always be, like, tapping on stuff, and then, like, eventually, like, my mom saw me, like, hitting stuff, and then she was like, we'll get you a drum pad, because my mom worked at a high school, so she knew, drumline kids and shit. So then, like, they would like pay these kids like $15, like, for a half hour to, like, show me how to, like, hold the stick, how to play and shit like that. And then stuck with it, and then just, like, worked a couple jobs, got my first drum set, like, around 8th grade. And then, yeah, I had, but my P's were pretty cool to let, like, me being allowed at the house and shit, you know. But yeah, just through that, like, see Bucket Boys, and then, like, fucking, I don't know. And then even a couple, like, maybe like 10 years ago, I was at Wrigley Field, and, like, there's other Bucket Boys there. I was like, I slipped them a 10. I was like, yo, let me pop in that bitch, and fucking, it was like doing drumline all over again. It was sick. Like, coordinated, very good, like, cadence and shit. It was fun.
That's
so,
awesome.
Like, drums has always been, like, I don't know, man. I don't go like a therapist or anything. That's always been, like, the way I'm very fortunate to have, like, a fucking outlet to, like, express frustration and just anything, you know.
Totally.
Like hitting shit that, like, you know, can't press charges against you and shit.
Right. So as far as, like, mentioning, like, the Bucket Boys, have you ever, you know, have you had the opportunity as far as, like, you know, getting in on something like that and playing along with a gang of cats?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'll just be like, hey, let me hop in, or, like, you gotta tip them and shit. They'll give you the sticks for a little bit, you know. And yeah, fuck around with them. It's fun. Because, like Beaver, I was in drumline also, and shit like that in high school.
Yeah.
Even though I believe, hey, shout out Beaver, superior drummer, hell of a guy, big fan. Yeah. All his bands, dude, like MH, Chaos, fucking Losing a Choice, and he's got this new band called Chaos Fear, dude.
Yes. Very
sick, like good Meshuggah fucking feel, like it's good. It's good.
Yeah, he's doing it good. It was funny too because after I had kind of gotten, you know, caught on the whole, like, illusion of choice outside of, like, MH Chaos and different things. And then all of a sudden I'm, like, going back and I'm like, yo, dude, Chaos Fear fucks too. Like, I absolutely missed out on digging in on that. So, no, that's awesome. So as far as for you, where does the influence of heavy music, where does that kind of get introduced to you as far as, you know, initial bands that you're hearing that kind of, you know, really... really? Shit. Okay.
Demanufacture. When Demanufacture came out,
yes.
And then, like, you would go through, like, you know, like the CD, like, that's what Best Buy had sold CDs and shit. You go there, fucking you go through the liner notes, you're like, thanks to Sepultura, Machine Head, all these other bands, and I'm like, who are these bands? And I like, you know, this is like before the internet, or like this is like before like the internet was like in schools and shit. So it's like you had to like read liner notes and be like, all right, cool. And then you have to like go to record stores or fucking, you know, used to be a place called Coconuts, or I don't know if you remember FYE, like stupid shit like that, like or Tower Records. Like Tower Records was sick. They would have like a bunch of weird like metal and punk shit, and I was like always like down to. But like as for like hardcore, I'd say Strife. Once that Victory Record sampler came out, like Victory Style 3 or something like that, like '97. That's when I was like, yo, fucking hardcore rules. I was like, metal is fucking pussy shit. But then it's like, I saw the like whole transition of like push pit guys, and then like there's like dudes like, you know, doing hardcore dancing or whatever. Then it's like fights breaking out. I mean, I've been in several fights like that, but it's just like now it's like kind of melding together where it's like, you know, there's like spin kick death metal or like fucking like I don't know, it's just like death metal bands that like have like sick like breakdown riffs, or like, you know, like even like bands that kind of sound like Dying Fetus and shit like that. Like it's like they got groove, but it's like still like heavy as fuck. So
dude, and I love you mentioning Fear Factory. Like I think Obsolete was kind of where I had gotten introduced to them. I had older brothers that, you know, were really into Slayer and anything, you know, thrash wise. But the technicality of my man who was playing on these records for Fear Factory, you know, it's like, how is this dude doing this? Dude, yeah, there you go. Shit, I couldn't think of his name. When I first heard that fucking like demanufactured, like the first album, the first song, I was like, "There's no way somebody's feet can go that fast." I was just gonna say that. This is bullshit. And then like I see him live, I'm like, "Oh, I just suck at drums." Like, shit, I just can't do that, you know. Oh my god, it's exactly the thing, you know, where it was like you hear like Rain and Blood, or you hear, you know, like other like metal tracks or thrash tracks where it's really fast, but then you hear like the technicality that he would have, you know, in his feet work, or something like, you know, mentioning Meshuggah, where it's like, initially hearing Meshuggah, that wasn't really even my thing, but the technicality of everything, you know, you're like, how are they doing this shit? Like this is absolutely insane.
You gotta bust out a calculator to headbang it. It was like, oh shit, all right, perfect. Fuck.
With I mean, so as far as, you know, you having the interest and kind of getting, you know, like introduced to local shows or big shows, how does your first concert come along?
Well,
attending.
Like the first one for like a metal show, or like first one like ever in my life?
Just ever in your life, seeing like experiencing live music.
My parents probably do see ZZ Top and the Beach Boys.
Oh,
this
my
God.
1988,
I believe. I was a young lad, and I just remember like ZZ Top had like these like, I guess the Beach Boys and ZZ Top were like they had like the stage shit where it's like the fucking '57 Chevy like kind of like stage prop or whatever. They're all it was pretty sick, and like my parents were all about ZZ Top and shit like that, so it's like I fuck with them. But like first like I'd say like big like metal show was I believe it was like Head PE, Static X, System of a Down, and Fear Factory at the Metro, and like that's right when Obsolete came out, like.
Oh damn!
And like fucking System of a Down's first album came out, and like I was like, these guys are weird. And I was like, but they're so good. Like,
right.
It's like fucking first time I seen the like the guitar player like with all these like crazy eye makeup and shit, dude. I'm like, zazzed it up, dude. It's fucking made it entertaining, you know.
I mean, and that kind of come into play, you know, with like some of the masks and some of the things that started happening, or like face paint, you know, like with like Mushroom Head or Mudvayne, but like
Slipknot, dude, yo, what fucking Slipknot. Dude, they were passing out those 2-song demos of I think it was like from the first album, Sick and Surfacing, I believe. That was like a 2-song tape demo, and like I met them when they came through the first time at Rolling Stone Records. And
shit, wow.
I got them to like sign that tape, but then I gave it to my friend. I'm like, dude, I wish I still had that because I could like probably, I don't know, play it on my tape player. And then like, because like they were all really cool. And like I guess the pig guy died, Paul, but like they would sign anything. Like when they had like a big record signing or whatever. And like, dude, I found like pieces of cardboard. I found like garbage. I'm like, yo, sign me. You know, like a newspaper. They did. It was sick. Like,
that rules.
don't add that
Awesome.
stuff anymore. I
Yeah,
like went through a purge. I'm like, this is cool, but what are we gonna do with this? You know?
I mean,
Slipknot
it was
was
something
sick too.
too where like that era of music came through. I felt like Mudvayne always kind of stuck out to me out of again the technicality. You know, when you have I think the drummer's name was Matt. And then Ryan, you know, the bassist, where like you're looking into some of the stuff, it's like, man, you know, this is like next level shit for somebody who, you know, has the interest or is thinking about playing drums and then is trying to look into, you know, playing something like that. It's like, oh, I got to sit down and actually listen to this shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I don't,
totally, yeah. You're like,
what are they doing?
You're like, all right. It's all just like mimicking muscle memorization and shit like that. Just practice,
right,
you know, that's all you got to do.
Right. Yep. So how does your first kit come into play? You know, I know that you mentioned early on, you know, kind of tapping and getting introduced to that, but where does this first drum kit come into?
Well, I first started, my mom got me a drum pad, and they're like, you could play that for a year, and if you're still doing it, we'll talk about something else. And then like, I worked on my uncle's farm in North Dakota over the summers, and then like, you know, at the end of the summer, you give me like $1,000 because it's like, you know, I'm a kid. I'm just helping around the house. Like we would haul cattle and shit. So the second time I did that, and I took that money and I bought a used drum set. It was like a Ludwig, but it had two stands. It had two stands that had fucking 2 toms on each of them. So it was like a fucking Metallica kit and shit like that.
Holy shit.
Like, dude, it was sick.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, like, I mean, like, I would set it up and it would, like, take up my whole bedroom. And I'm like, all right, I'm sleeping next to this thing. It's sick. And then I would play it. But then, like, I would, because I was a drumline, I would bring some of the drums to, like, basketball games, too. Like, and, like, football games, we do, like, the stands. So then, like, it'd be kind of like a flipped-out setup where you have, like, 2 fucking drums up there. You just, like, bang it out, like, to the cadence and shit. But then eventually I just sold parts of that off. And my buddy, my next kid after that first one was a Ludwig, or like a 70-something or 60-something Ludwig. And then I got a Premier kit from my buddy Mark Helmaniak, who he bought this is right when that White Pony album by Deftones came out. He bought a white Mustang. The fucking license plate said WHTPNY, and then he couldn't make fucking payments on it, so he sold his drum set to me with the hardware and cymbals for like $500. 3 months later, his car got repoed, but like I got a drum set, dude. So, and I still have that one. And then the one I use now, like my wife fucking helped me out with it. It was kind of like a present, you know. It was the fucking Emperor kit, because like Emperor cabs, we've known those dudes. Well, I've known them for fucking, I don't know, like 12 fucking years, like a long time. And I knew they made drums, and then like Dylan was like I was like, dude, do you make drums? He's like, yes. And then but they only made, I think they only made like 4 kits or whatever, because they're all about cabs. But the kits were like kind of just like a side gig or whatever by request only, and he helped me out. Fucking custom kit. I was like, I'm an adult now. Here we go. I'm trying to really invest in like something like sick, like I don't know. But
that's awesome. Now, when did you get that kit then? When was that?
2010.
Oh, okay.
2011, because I got that like when like Thieves was mostly touring and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of one of those things where it is like one of these feelings where you finally like you kind of get something to that point, or like myself, I have a 60s Ludwig, and like that thing, like when I got that, I was like, okay, I feel like I've kind of accomplished like my point of adulthood, where I've I've passed the little kid stage on shit, and I got to get serious a little bit.
Shit breaking all the time.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, Brian, shout out, dude. Libraries rock. Sorry, dude. I fucking print shirts with, like, we printed this shirt one time, dude, and Vince always says it says Libertarians rock. I'm like, Jesus Christ, let it go, dude. No thanks. Miss me with that. But dude, so like, how big's your kit? Like, what do you use and stuff?
4-piece. It's a 22 by 18 or 20. I think 20 by 18. There's a 10, 12, and then 16. And then my snare is a pork pie. One of the little squealers. The acrylic. Yep.
Dude, I got the same one, dude.
Oh shit! Okay, the orange one.
Yeah. The little squealer. It's like black. Like, yeah. It was on sale at Guitar Center. I was like, yoink, no problem.
Yes. I ended up getting the acrylic, the orange acrylic one, and it's been funny because just for so many years, like initially, with like different friends and trying to record and recording in a basement or some shit, it's like this thing is just so pingy. It's so it like loud in a sense, just kind of has like that ring, but like over the years, that's just been the go-to. It's been the fucking thing that I've had. So, with that, do you have, like multiple snares, or do you have different things as far as, your distinct sound for how, how that's worked over the years? Tuning in.
I really like there's a band from Buffalo called Snapcase, and I really like them. I love how their fucking snare sounded, and I was like, oh, you got the piccolo snare.
Yeah.
And, so I got a piccolo snare from a buddy of mine who was in a ska band and shit, and I loved it, dude. I was like, bing, bing, and it's like so like, I don't know. I used to use it live for Bovice, but then like, I don't know, like once hearing like recordings from like phones or whatever, I was like kind of like, I don't know if I like that with this sound, but then I just went back to that for normal drum. But like for recording, like Andy at Bricktop, fucking what's his use? I think he had a Black Beauty or like one of these like really nice fucking snares. I was like, I'll use that. So.
Yeah. That was the one thing initially here in Sluggo season, and kind of hearing like some of the initial components of this newer record. That snare, and then I got to touch on the ride that you have, the bell that you use. That thing is so pingy. What a Oh, okay. Dude. I didn't know if it was a ride if you had like an accent then. Okay.
Dude, well, because I used to do the accents, but then like I had the Zilbel from like the early 2000s in like this like metal band I was in called Illuminati, and we the album that like inspired me to get a bell was The Opposite of December by Poison the Well.
Oh like, yeah, okay.
I'm like, how do you make that sound? I'm like, oh, it's one of those. So fucking $60 later, dude, catch me. Yeah, and so I had it, and I didn't really use it for like a long ass time. Like with Thieves, I never used it, and then like once Tim, say hi, Tim.
Yo.
Hey, come over here.
What is up, dude?
Yo.
What's up, man? How's it going?
What up, man?
It's going well. He can't hear you, dude.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, fucking when I got the Zilbel, I was like I had it at the crib, me and Tim were writing riffs, and then like I was like, let's see how this sounds, and like he was even saying like ding ding ding, ding like just like little little accents, little zazz. Because like I consider it's like having a 3 out of 3 exotic set, dude. You got a Splash, you got a Zilbel, you got a China. That's the exotics.
There you go. There you go. Now, and maybe this is just a personal experience, but I'm kind of doubting it here as far as, you get a new toy like that. You get like a Zilbel or a new China. Have there been moments where you go and you listen back to a demo and it's like, man, I just went way too fucking hard on this thing. Like, I'm having too much fun, but it did not help for this part of the song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I have done that, but like not with Bovice, but with Thieves. Like we actually went back to Bricktop and recorded 16 songs of like Thieves started in like 2006, and like we have like a whole catalog of shit, and we went back and listened to all the recordings that we did with Pete Grossman at Bricktop, in like right when they opened. Like we were like one of their first bands they recorded, and we went back. We're like, oh man, this could be done so much better. Or like, it's like, dude. So then we took the bangers from like all of our old EPs and LPs, and we wanted to record one last like record or whatever. But we're just waiting for Rudy to put the vocals on. But yeah, well, with Bovice, I haven't really felt that. And Barren Heir is actually going to be recording tomorrow.
Shit! Okay.
With fucking Dylan and Craig from Emperor, like we're gonna do like a little demo at their little spot. Fucking $3.99, dude. It's fucking. But then Barren Heir is gonna be going to Bricktop to record with Andy Nelson in November, like late November.
Shit. Okay, that's
awesome. That guy, like, dude, he's fucking flush with fucking bands to record, dude. Like, you gotta book him like, I don't know, 7 months in advance, like, because he's like, I could do December. But like December was busy for David from Barren Heir, and he's like, well, after that I got March. I'm like, oh shit, dude.
Right. It's become a thing where like I don't even, to be honest, I'm trying to think back to where I can credit the first like record, but it just became a thing where I'm looking through a record shop and I'm like, oh shit, I want to grab this. I look back and Andy Nelson. Oh, I want to grab this. Andy Nelson. I'll grab these couple of things. I've never even heard this. Andy Nelson. You know, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? How is this dude doing so much? And then this last year scored a movie. You know, it's like, god damn, man. Hats off to you, dude. You're killing it.
Dude, Andy Rules. Me and him, and I'm good. Me, him, and Kyle from this group called Saren. We went to the Renaissance Fair last week. We saw Andy up there, dude. We were chilling.
Sick. That's awesome.
In Bristol, it's like by Wisconsin and shit like that. We were up there.
Okay.
You know, we like Skyrim and shit, so we like pop up in there, you know.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, we were just chilling, Andy, and like, dude, that dude rules. He does a lot. Like, I celebrate the man's entire catalog. Like, he used to be in Undo Tomorrow, which is like a local hardcore band. Then Like Rats, fucking
yes,
and
yes.
Weekend Nachos, of course, dude. Like, fucking dude.
Yeah.
Because like Thieves would play with Weekend Nachos a bunch. Like we would actually not play with them in Chicago a lot. We'd play with them like in Minnesota or like Kentucky or some shit like that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We actually never really played with them in Chicago for some reason, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
it's like, well, we're both
dude.
from the same time, but yeah. You know, and as far as with that too, I should say even Bricktop in general. You know, like Andy obviously like murders it, but so many records. I mean, you see that are coming out of that studio in general. You know, not to discredit anybody else that's in there, but it's just like, yeah, they've got it going on.
They got it going. Andy and Pete, Pete does a lot of mastering. Pete just had a kid. Shout out, fucking. I hope your child is a masculine one. Okay. I don't know what the line was. Anyway, Pete does a lot of mastering, and he also plays in a band called High Priest, which is like a very sick like.
Oh
band.
yeah,
like,
okay.
You know, High Priest rules.
Yeah, I know them. I didn't know he was in that band, but
yeah,
they rule. Shit.
He's what you call a riff lord, dude. He's good. He fucking can come up with some tasty ones, dude.
All right, so what about as far as your first experience? So you have your first band, you guys do some practicing. Your first show ever, how does that go? Is it something that did you have a lot of fun? Were you nervous? Did it go well? How was that?
It was good. But like my first show, like when I was in high school or whatever, it's sick. It's like you have to like sell tickets to your fucking friends. There's this place in Melrose Park, a suburb of Chicago, where it's like it's called After Night Soundstage. It's not around anymore, but Shark Studios. There's these fucking two scumbags, and they had a space where they would like make fucking kids sell tickets for $10 a piece, and it's like you don't like it's like pretty much pay to play, and like you do your own promotion, which I get it because I understand like it's like they don't know us. We're like kids. It's like we don't have promoters. We don't do any of that shit. It's like we just pretty much like get our friends who can drive to like come out to the show and like drink in the parking lot or whatever, but being nervous, yeah, kind of like, I mean, like I've always noticed myself like rushing sometimes when I get like excited and like, I'll start playing a little faster, but then I get the stink eye from somebody like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, cause like, dude, I get stoked and like, it's just like, and it's like, especially, well, talking about the first show, it's like, dude, all your friends are there, maybe some chicks you like or whatever it is. Fucking,
right.
You got fucking dudes that like, you don't like, but that's like the place to be. And it's like, all right, then you get like respect and like dude or friends. It's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm not just like reading fucking Isaac Asimov books in the cafeteria, bro.
Okay. All right. And anything as far as the old kit falling over or cymbals breaking, or was it a decent show?
Actually, everything worked out pretty fine. That one, I've definitely had some equipment malfunctions. Like even last night, fucking Barren Heir played with this band called Endoculi. They're from Pittsburgh. Dude, two drummers.
I saw your video. Never heard of them. That was fucking awesome. Bro. I got to check further into them. That rules.
What would you do with $1 million? Dude? What would you do with $1 million, bro? Two drummers at the same time. Sorry, it killed last night. I'm sorry, dude. It killed. I had to broadcast it, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention something, just because I saw that in your story. I'm like, holy shit, like you see it every once in a while. It's not all that often, but. Yeah, dude, they were absolutely killing it. It looked awesome.
Fucking, dude, I can always respect a heavy hitter, like, and then like seeing two of them like coordinated. For, like when the editor said, I was like, I have so many questions for you guys.
Yeah,
So did
right.
you guys like meet in drumline? Like what happened? Like dating? Like who's the top? Who's the bottom? Like who's the main drummer? And, I don't know how they do
There's
it.
even, I mean, there's even choreography. Where
Dude,
like,
yo, that I pointed out. I'm like, you guys are coordinated like fee, like dude.
yeah,
Very sick. It was like watching like a pro drumline, like but with live like fucking sick fucking tunes going on. But shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, but yeah, they were great. But last night at that show, I let this other group, Virgin Mother. I guess some of the guys in that band are in a band called Meth. But I never really listened to Meth that much. I just started checking them out. Like they're pretty cool. It's like kind of like noise rock. I don't know. But fucking the cymbal stand started fucking like going like this. So then all of a sudden I had like the fucking cymbal like this, and I'm like But normally if that happens at like a Bovice show, Beaver would always like fucking come save my ass and shit. Like at the Rumble, we had B56 up there like. I was like, yo, dude, you don't got to be on the stage. I was like, Sonny's over there, like, doing the fucking video. But then, like, he was out it. I'm like, fucking B56, dude. But then, like, he's always with my fucking guy where it's like, he'll fucking, he'll like, notice, like, if shit's malfunctioning, he'll, like, hop in there and, like save my ass.
That's the best.
Especially if it's, like, if it, my drum set like moves. I like push my drum set forward a lot. If I don't bring a drum rug. Fucking, it'll start moving forward.
Good coin term.
And then, like my bass pedal will come off and like disconnect, and then so like Beaver will be there. He'll fucking like get right under my toes and fucking slip it in, dude. Fucking.
That's awesome. What more can you ask of a friend?
Yeah,
what more can you ask?
He heard my respect right away, dude. I was like, I love you.
Jesus, I absolutely love that. What about your first time recording? May it be a buddy's, basement or something kind of even like a professional studio. How was that? My experience is for whatever always reason is I can play something, all the time, all the way perfect, or at least, like good. And for whatever reason, the studio comes into and it's just, I just do not enjoy it. How was your experience as far as recording? How do you dig it?
The first time I recorded was like a senior in high school at my buddy's studio in Gary, Indiana, and like I never practiced to a metronome, and they wanted me to do metronome, and I was like freaking out. But then like I'd hear the recordings, and it's like it was like cheap. It was like $250. But like this is back when they had like DAT tapes where it's like you can't digital. It's not digital yet. It's like still like you have to buy these tapes and stuff like that. And it's like so you get very limited like leeway of like fucking fucking up. It's like that's money, more money, and I'm fucking a kid fucking working at Ben and Jerry's and shit trying to like buy DAT tapes and shit. Oh, dude, it's Vince, dude. Vince on fucking he's got the candelabra.
There you go.
We get real weird with it sometimes around here, dude. We just
I mean,
all the
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Shut gear and we're all set. But yeah, dude, like back, and then like I just never have it. Like I didn't really know what an anxiety attack was, but I was having one because like I mean like I didn't really know what that like terminology was like in high school, and then like but it's like you get all scared and like freaked out and like fuck I'm screwing up, like I'm sweating because I'm playing hard too, like like dude, and it's just like we have the recording. I mean, it sounds like shit, but like it's like a high school band. We were called Down to None, dude, named after the Machine Head song.
Yeah, okay, sick.
Yeah.
I love.
It was like kind of
that.
It was kind of like rap metal. Like they really like we had a black metal guitarist who like was the one that showed me like fucking Dark Throne, Burzum, fucking Satyricon, like all these fucking
yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, these guys all the birds of churches, and I was like, that's so sick. Like,
yeah, right.
Anyway, so he was like sick riffs, and then the other guitar player, Scooter, he was like just like a fucking savant, dude. Like he's a noodle master. Like he loves Randy Rhoads and he loves fucking Yngwie Malmsteen and shit.
Okay.
But yeah, That was very frustrating, like first time recording. But then like when recording with Thieves, because like we would do it in Greg's basement before going to Bricktop and shit, and that was like much easier. But I still to this day do not record to a metronome except for like certain parts, just because like A, metronomes are not punk. B, fucking machines are your enemy, dude. And like I listen to Peter Patrick a lot, okay, dude. It's like there's a reason for that, dude. So you can't have this machine regulating my fucking passion.
Dude, that might be my go-to line from here on out, and you know, just kind of have the cockiness, you know, with it, as opposed to being like, this is just not working. Like for whatever reason, I've had multiple times going and trying to, you know, record with a metronome, and maybe that's even part of like the frustration with it, is because there's been different times where it's like you get a couple of tracks in and it's just like, this does not even feel right. It sounds goofy. The kind of, you know, maybe even a little bit of the passion of, you know, just the energy and drive in your playing isn't there, you know. So I appreciate that. It's
like you could play like, you know, staccato. You could be fucking very precise, but it's like yes, but it's like you might as well just get a fucking machine to play that thing, or get a drum machine and shit like that. But then it's like where it's like kind of like you feel it. It's like it's not exactly on, but it's on enough. It's like the fucking for like times. It's like, you know, you got this and like you're hitting it like there. You know, it's like
Well, and it's even, you know, like the earlier 2000s with different bands where they started really over implementing like the drum replacement, you know, where it was like maybe the snare or the like kick, you know, and then all of a sudden you listen to and having triggers, and I understand, you know, the need for it at different times or for different bands or whatever. Excuse me. But there's just kind of one of those things where it's like, this just it doesn't feel like people sitting in a room who had a great time writing this shit and, you know, getting some drinks, it's smoking, like whatever.
A little overproduced, like I mean, like a lot of like metal bands are like metal deathcore bands or metalcore bands. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but like the bands with like a lot of you can't read their names, but like a lot of it, it's like, dude, they all use triggers and shit, and it's like. I had a conversation with my boy Jason Nitz. He plays in this group called Warforged. They're fucking sick. They were just on tour with Fallujah. They were on tour with Fallujah for like 2 months or whatever. Sick. Guys roll. But like, I'd always tell him, I was like, yo, dude, when I was coming up, dude, I'd see a band, like I'd be playing with a band, and like the guy would have triggers. He's like, I gotta talk to the sound guy to like plug in. I'm like, yo, you're a pussy, dude. I was like, triggers are for fucking pussies. If you can't play hard, I was like, go fucking, you know, play guitar, dude. Because I was like, yo, you gotta fucking slam that shit. It was like, I remember going to the Guitar Center and like fucking with a double bass pedal, you know, dude. Getting two drummers, I mean, like, this is actually awesome talking to you, because like getting two drummers like in a room sometimes, it's like a nightmare, dude. It's like fucking. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, let me see. It's like, who taught you how to play double bass, man? It's like this. I'm like, this sucks, you, bro. I was like, I taught myself, dude. I was like, eat shit, like. But then, no, like, like. So triggers are the enemy. I was like, that pussy shit. But because like sometimes, and it's like, yes, I get it. It like brings the sound up to the level where it's like everything's even. But it's like you should just be consistent anywhere. Or if you can't, practice more. You know, it's like be hard, dude. Like that. God's hate song. Be harder, champ. Anyway.
Great and great band. I was just talking about God's Hate last night. That band fucking. Well, I don't know if you're into them or not, but
like I played with a couple of their songs, man. They're cool, but like they got catchy, dude. Like some of the riffs get in my head. Like I'm just fucking chilling. It's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like I'm like it's like so like it's not simple, but it's like it's just so like appealing or like I don't know. I find,
you know what's funny though, riffs, actually,
I'm attracted to the riffs.
You know what's funny is honestly, I was always fine with the band until this latest record, and Colin's playing on it. Just some of the simple like different parts where it's just like a simple bah, da, but the fills and different shit that he was doing. I think actually on that Be Harder track too? Where he's Colin's the vocalist of Twitching Tongues. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then his brother also plays guitar or bass in Twitching Tongues. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know the whole like backstory of those dudes, but like fucking Twitching Tongues ruled. Like Thieves played, played with them at the Rumble in like 2012, I think, and like we were like in the beginning, and like those dudes are like shouted out, and I was like, dude, thank you. And like I watched them, and I was like, I love your riffs, and I love Danzig. fucking make it so, dude. This is sick. Like they were like definitely like one of the bands I like got into like where I don't even know why they broke up or stopped doing shit, but I dug them a lot and shit.
Yeah, totally. What about as far as, throughout the years, maybe even early on to even up to yesterday, playing a show, your pre-show ritual, just something that kind of helps you, and maybe even yourself out, possibly even practicing different regiments that you might do before playing a show. What goes into that?
Oh, well, like I've been doing a lot. You gotta do a lot of stretching. Like I've been a yoga practitioner for about 15 years. And it's like, that helps. Yeah, that helps a lot, like the stretching and then like because it's like you're fully physically engaged when you're playing drums and all four fucking limbs. Thank God I got them all. Are fucking doing independent things, but while like keeping your core heart like going, and like being like passionate in it. It's hard to explain, but I do a lot of stretches like. I do jujitsu too, and so I like gotta do those warm ups and stuff. So it's like you kind of just like, stretch the back out. Always get your arms good, wrists. I'll do like paradiddles, all those. I'll do little double strokes, little double strokes down there. Fucking, yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Probably I've been a big marijuana enthusiast for a while, and so I probably just do that beforehand too, and that kind of like evens me out and like gets me like level to the spot like where I want to like be good and like on time and like in the fucking cut with the boys jamming out and shit, especially with Bovice, like it's very like the groove is like set, and I find it like very good to like hop on it,
Yeah, so I mean, in touching on that band and you're playing in specific, even from like this like first EP that you have to the single to the split and everything up until this latest stuff, it's always a fluid feel. Like for instance, this latest track that you put out, Sluggo Season. You hear that riff, and at least to me, I hear that riff, and I'm like, I feel like and don't take this wrong because it's not a dig at all, but hearing the initial bum 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 ba. Hearing that riff, I'm like, I feel like they had to sit on that for a while because how are they going to transition that into something else? Because it's just such an odd core, or it's just such an odd progression. And then hearing that, it's like, God damn, this is so sick. So sick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, thank you. Like, that's definitely one, like, song we were going through, like, which song we released first. Like, Vince was like, that's the one, like, that's like, it sounds different because like we showed a bunch of homies that, and like people who aren't even into like heavy music or like, I mean, they're just not into like hardcore, but then I would like be over at their houses. I'd be like, yo, check, because they want to, homies support that, older friends that like are just not into music or go to shows or anything. But I show them because I respect their opinions, and they're like, dude, that's my favorite song. They're like, this, like, so out of like 4 people, like 3 of them picked that song, or like that's how we're fucking gonna release it. And then we did the video, which
yes,
well, dude, we lucked out like Mario and Kim from Upstate. Hello, if they're seeing this, but they fucking they were like, yo, shoot a video. I was like, fuck, I've never done that. Like, and then so I got my buddy Morian, who plays in this group called the Waterfall King. They're a fucking sick stoner band. Like, they got some good tunes.
Sweet. Okay.
They're the homies. He does. I saw his band's videos that he shot, and I was like, "Yo, you want to do one for Bovice?" He's like, "Sign me up, bitch." And I was like, "All right." So fucking, but then we were like, "All right, cool. Where are we gonna shoot this video?" Like, we didn't know. Like, I've never done this. And then like we were talking to the guys from Warforged because they shot their video at our friend Bill Fay's house, Bill Fay's shop in Maywood, off of 9th Avenue, and fucking Bill plays in a band called Something Is Waiting from Chicago. They're awesome. Like, they're fucking like one of my favorite bands, like from Chicago. And he was like, "Yeah, dude, go ahead. You can totally use the space." And like, I bought him tacos, and then hold on one second. I bought him tacos, and then apparently at the shop there's like a mechanic garage on the bottom floor, and then there's like a fucking freight elevator that fucking you could put cars into. And so we went up to the fourth floor of his shop, and there's all these cars there. We're like, oh shit, I guess they're cars that people were getting fixed, but then they didn't pay them, so then they're just like storing all these cars and shit. So we're like, all right, and there was a fucking G-Ride there. We're like, yo, can we like do something with this, bro? And he's like, yeah. We can use it. Matter of fact, I think this cat over here was born in that car. I was like, all right, perfect, let's go. And then so like, you know, fucking Vince, because like Morian, like he was just kind of like, we're down to shoot whatever. And then Vincent was actually pretty creative with, I don't know, he's got good vision, so he had a lot of ideas on like where to shoot it, like, and like where, like what to do. So it's not just like us playing like a show or something like that. It's like,
yeah.
But you know, it was very like, it came out like very, like better than I thought it would. But like for
yeah, totally,
you know, and like yeah, Morian like from Loath Production and the fucking Waterfall King, like dude. He fucking linked it up, dude. Like they're a sick band too. Check them out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Waterfall King.
Yeah, yeah.
Write that down a second.
Yeah, dude. They got a song called Filth. It's on one of my playlists and shit that I like. Like it's on my liked songs. And it feels bad sometimes because like if me and him are hanging out and then like all of a sudden it comes up, I'm like, oh, skip. Sorry, dude. I'm not listening to your band right now. Dude. Sorry, bro.
I can't give you that satisfaction, you asshole.
Yeah,
no, I was gonna say about the video too. You know, like it's funny because as hard as it is, it also like it feels like there's like a production behind it. You know, I'm like shit. Yeah. They like went in on this. You know, and that was kind of my thing. Is like, how the fuck do they have this just vehicle or vehicles up in this building? You know, so I'm glad that you told that story.
I had no idea what was gonna be there because I was gonna go the night before to like scout it out, I guess. But then, like, I got caught up with some other shit. I'm like, all right, like, people say this is like a sick spot. Like, I trust the Warforged guys, and I was like, all right. Went there, I'm like, this is sick. There's a fucking El Camino, a fucking G-Ride, fucking cars just like on jacks, like, engines hanging out. I was like, this looks metal. All right. Like, we're not mechanics or anything. It's like we're not like into cars and shit, but like,
yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
I drive one, so.
Yeah, you know, I mean, well, and so it was. You had a lift and everything. Like you didn't have to carry up all the gear up, you know, to get there.
Yeah. There was it was. It's gonna be. It was a freight elevator where they move cars and shit. But
okay. Yeah.
Like it was a nice elevator, so we didn't have to move too much shit. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We definitely had to like move the lights and shit a lot. It was just us. It was like everybody in Bovice and Morian, and then we were just like moving lights everywhere, like getting extension cords because like some of the parts some of the place didn't have power and shit, so we had to like that was kind of rough, but you know it was that.
Okay.
Hey, say hi to my wife. This is my wife Veronica.
Hola.
Hi, good to meet you. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good. How are you?
Best.
Oh, she can't hear me,
Yeah.
but
we had no idea what to expect, and it just turned out cool. I was like, this is sick. But like, we want to do another video, but like with more of like maybe like a storyboard or something like that, like a story, like kind of like something that's like about the song, because like
okay.
Like we got another single dropping, I think next week or something. And then we're gonna probably do another video just like when the album comes out or the third one comes out. But I gotta talk to Mario. I was actually supposed to talk to Mario the other night, and I got like caught up with Barren Heir practice, and then like fucking driving around in a bad connection.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no, that's I mean, keeping busy with it. Yeah, I appreciate that, and you know, and along with that, you know, kind of through the catalog, it's always been just like such a fluid like motion as far as you're playing. And I've had, you know, different times I put on your records and the single and everything, and like we'll even practice to it, and it's always just this kind of, and I hate to say the word vibe because it just kind of seems cringy, but it's always just kind of just like a
good.
You can just kind of move your body to it. Even with it being heavy and even with it being, you know, as hard as it is, it's like you can't help but to just kind of have, you know, if you're driving around down.
Yeah, it's like a vibe, like a flavor. Like,
there it is, flavor. There we go. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not saying fucking vibe. I love it.
No. You're good. I read you loud and clear, Playboy. Fucking, dude, like Bovice would not be Bovice without Julian's flavor and like flair, like
Dude.
and, like just his like you know, if he fucking decides to be like, yeah, I'm done, it's like, all right, I guess we're done. But like it's like he's because like he's like he's one of the best vocalists I've ever worked with in like my entire like I guess career or whatever, even though it'll get paid, but you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I hear what you're saying.
But like he's just so good. Like, and his stage presence is great. His fucking stage banter, tier 1. Fucking sometimes I mean like he's gotten better with his stage banter, dude. But anyway, Julian is like definitely the one that gives it like the fucking flavor, like the vibe. I mean, like Tim will come up with fucking riffs, and like even Vince has been coming up with some songs too. And then like I've always just like kind of like once I get their vibe, I fucking really like pop into the track, pop into the groove, you know, like you know, slide right in and fucking band it together because like it's like with switching back to Barren Heir, like. When me and Eddie, the bass player, write a song, I explained to David, our guitar player, I was like, yo, I'm the frame, Eddie's the canvas, and you're the paintbrush. I was like, dude, this is how it goes. This is the way. Dude.
I love it.
But
I love it.
That's a Barren Heir. Like, that's a different whole, like, it's not like song, what's up? We don't talk. Between songs, there's like minimal vocals, like vocals more like an instrument, and then it's just like kind of like a movement of songs. Like it's like 5 songs technically, but like it's like a 22-minute like movement, you know. And it's like that's gonna be like that's like the first 5 songs because like Barren Heir was a band before I joined them. Thieves would play with them a bunch, and I really liked them. And then their drummer quit, and they asked me, and I was like, "You got it, champ." Fucking, started with them, and then like we were just jamming. Then I booked a show with Iron Gag from New England.
Yes,
you know the guys? They're cool.
Totally, they're so sick.
Yeah, fucking OJ rules. Fucking shout out to my mountain. Anyway,
there you go. Now, as opposed to to Thieves or Barren Heir, what is your approach as far as with Bovice? You know, are there certain influences that kind of you take into to bringing your flavor into Bovice there?
Yeah,
that differ, I should say.
Well, like I mean, like with like riffs and stuff like that, it's like Tim loves Morbid Angel and shit, and like fucking like Obituary, Bolt Thrower, like standard like. Not like top tier metal or like surface level metal, but it's like if you know metal, you know these bands and shit like that. Like,
totally.
Like standard shit. Like, but as far as like whatever like kind of riffs he writes, that all depends on like how like I'm gonna like I don't know be feeling that day or what I'm listening to lately. Because if I'm listening to like I mean I listen to the first 3 Coheed and Cambria albums a lot. Like,
yes,
those are
dude,
good, but like
so good.
Yeah, the Second Stage Turbine Blade, the next one, and then the next one, and then after that I kind of lost touch. But I love the drums on that one, so it's like on like Second Stage Turbine Blade, so it's like a lot of that I like will pull in. Then also a lot of drums if I'm listening to like because I stopped listening to Fear Factory after Obsolete. When I bought Digimortal, I was like. No, I'm sorry. It became a coaster for my 40, dude. It was fucking good. But yeah, for like I don't know, like it's hard to describe because like I mean it all depends. If like Tim brings dabs over, then like we'll like do dabs, and then we're like, all right, I'm fucking zonked in the stone to the throne, dude, and we'll just see what flows out, just how we're feeling, and like, like he was like showing me, he was like, yo, check out this band, they're called Irate. I'm like, all right. Oh no, Ingrown. Was it Ingrown? No, Irate.
Ingrown's from Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah.
That's an old one.
Love it.
What was the other band he was talking about? Our buddy Greg, our merch guy Greg, he was showing us a bunch of fucking. He's the person that showed me that band Tsunami. And I was like,
oh yeah, okay.
I was like, this band is sick, dude. Like, I was like, all right. Like the
Absolutely ignorant.
Yeah, dude. I was like, they're not like reinventing the wheel, but they're doing it well. Like they're like polishing the wheel well. You know, like all right, sick. Like good. Like they're
absolutely.
They're actually pretty fucking nice people. We met them at the Rumble. I met the guitar player, John. I called him the wrong name like twice because I don't know. I think they're straight edge, and I'm like fucking drug addicted alcoholic. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, dog? So like they're cordial, dude. They're cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
I love it.
But like Greg showed us them, and then like I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of like going back to like Pantera, but like that, and actually put on Ride the Lightning by Metallica a lot lately. Like and then from there I would go to like Trapped Under Ice, that band Trapped Under Ice, because I was like, oh yeah, Metallica.
Totally.
I was Trapped Under Ice. So I was like, maybe they got the name from there, but
yeah. Do
you want that? Dude, yeah, dude. Big fan. I like those guys.
I cannot. I got the old Big Kiss Goodnight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit, dude.
Bam.
Cool.
the old album cover, right? That album means a lot to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something if I was like, man, that band sucks ass, and then I had the whole cover just tattooed on me?
Yeah, but they got a sweet look. They got a sweet look, though. Good band, better look.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to start using that. I feel like there's been some time. All right, so last up here, we work on this best of the Midwest comp. I've got Bovice's Glitch Death, which is so sick, and I'm stoked to see that you got it on this upcoming record. What can you tell us about this track? Just kind of wrapping up everything today, and like what about this song as far as what you remember, maybe the writing or the process with the song.
I remember this is when we were in between bass players before Vincent joined, but this was like the first song we wrote with Vince and like recorded with Vincent at Big Top, and because like we put it on a 2020 promo, and then we were gonna tour, but then COVID happened, and I was like, all right, well. What are you gonna do? So then like we re-recorded it for the new one, but like when we first wrote it, I remember Tim just like always like having it like, and then like I wanted to put like more double bass because like the Fear Factory factor, and
yes, I
was like, so when we started like doing it, like it just kind of like fell into place, but then like it Tim is very good at explaining like riffs to me, to like how they would change, and like it would take me a little bit to like get to like, oh yo, we pause here, or we only do this 3 times, and like just like to kind of give it like, so it's not just like for this, and then like break down. It's like we're gonna do something like a little more dynamic, and so like Tim was like very good at explaining that. Because, like, I don't know, he already had the riffs in his head, dude. And then, like, I just, like, put shit to him, and he's like, I was like, do you like that? He's like, yes. And I was like, good. So,
sweet.
Well, with Glitch Death, like, I used to play video games a lot. And, well, I still kind of do, but played No Man's Sky a lot. Have you ever heard of this game?
Okay, yeah. I haven't played it. I can't say that, but I do know what it is, yeah.
Well, a lot of times the game would glitch, and then you would die. And that's called the Glitch Death. And I was like, hey, guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would have it on because it's like a space travel game, and so like we'd be practicing, and like I would just have it on in the background just because like it's cool to look at, and fucking I don't know, like I guess it means a lot more to me, but like Julie was like, that sounds sick, like okay, and then like Julian like, but then he like wrote the song, like it wasn't about No Man's Sky, of course, but like he like took that like verbiage, and like the lyrics are sick. Like I actually can't recall them at the moment, but like he'd be more suited to like talk about the lyrics. But
sure, okay.
But like when we wrote it, like it was in my basement, No Man's Sky on. I don't know, it was cool. Like
love it.
Dabs were flowing.
I love it. And I gotta say too, like as far as from our interaction and like knowing the band, and going back and like checking out the promo again, because I think it was that I didn't know that you guys had the split. I knew of the EP, and then I saw the promo that you guys were putting out too, but I didn't know that there was a split. So I go back and I'm just like, I absolutely fuck with these guys. Like, holy shit! Yeah. But then, to be honest, this record that's coming out, like for anybody who maybe even hasn't even listened to the band, front to back, I was messaging you, different moments in the record, certain spots, certain things.
Dude,
there's a flow to it. It's so sick, man.
And I'm like, ooh, yeah. I was like, you're actually listening to it. I was like, shit, thanks, dog.
I would like, it was initially I had the whole playthrough because since I've been young, it's always been a thing to me as far as an album. I love a single, but if I pop on something and the album isn't something, or at least maybe a couple of tracks, like. I have a hard time really, like calling myself a fan of it or just, going back and listening to a song over and over.
Yeah.
And so that's always been a big thing.
Drop singles, like, I didn't want to even drop singles because, like, I normally just like to just do, like, or like an EP or something, like 4 or 5 songs or something. But it's like doing the singles, like, now because, like, Mario from Upstate is, like, doing our Spotify and shit now. So it was like, all right, cool.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Because, like, I am not very good with that. Like, I'm sort of, as Beaver would say, I'm a boomer with that, dude. So fucking, so Mario's handled with that, and then he's like, yeah, we got to do singles, and he explained how it was done, and I'm like, all right, no, thank you. Do that then. Because, like, I mean, sometimes, I have homies that, like, do DIY stuff, and, like, they, like, put out a single. I'm like, yo, dude, get a bunch of shit. I know you want to put it out, but, like, get a bunch of shit together, or like send me personally the shit because like we got friends that like we jam with and like we just like fuck around with songs and just have fun. Like
yeah, totally.
I'm pushing 40, dog, and it's like I just want to do music all the time between working a job and shit. And so it's like we always like send each other like recordings that we're working on, songs that we just recorded either off our phones or with like a room mic or something like that,
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
That's so sick. And I have to give the props too in saying, I think even more impressively, as far as if it were a 4 or 5 song EP, the flow of the whole thing, you have a 9-track album, you have the whole thing. At no point was I feeling like it was anything where it was like stagnant, where it was filler, where it was moments where I was like, I don't know.
Like,
so much.
That's kind of a stinker. Yeah,
dude.
I got you, dog.
I am absolutely I'm in love with it. And I'm so stoked for people to hear it. I'm so stoked to pick up the copy myself because I'm in love with it, man. You guys did fucking awesome, and I anticipate on having a couple more of the other fellas to talk about riffs, lyrics, and some more with all this. So that's sick, man.
Dude, yeah, tell me we can't hop on that show, dude. Fucking, we got a couple people out of town and shit. So like, fucking, sorry, man. Like,
no.
Well, like, dude, we want to come out there and the end of September, like, we're talking to I think it was Smash Your Enemies. There's another upstate
oh
band.
Yeah,
and them. Dude, I want to hook up with D Block too. That band's fucking sick. Like
totally.
D Block, motherfucker. Okay, sick. Fucking and no, it's Street Struck is another band. They're from, I think they're like Altoona or something like that. But they're cool as fuck too. Street Struck. Yeah, they just dropped a new album too. They're dope.
Oh,
but
shit.
I think September 23rd, 24th, and 25th, or 22nd to the 25th, we're gonna do a little run out the East Coast. Like, but we're still like in the middle of like figuring that out and shit like that. But
okay.
Well, yeah, and so.
Might have to figure something out, dude. Not still in the Midwest,
but
bringing
it up. Hey, why not?
Yeah, might have to figure something out, doggy. Well, maybe if it's Detroit and it's a little, still the lower east side of the state, figure it out with that. But dude, this has been absolutely awesome, Adam.
Dude, yeah, thanks for having me, bro.
Much appreciated, dude. This has been fucking sick, and everybody that's let's see, really quick here. We got Dreams of Paradise, right? 9/23. This is September 23rd.
Dream of Paradise, yeah. Dream of Paradise comes out, September 23rd. Upstate Records through Blood Blast distribution, which I guess is like through Nuclear Blast, which I didn't know that. I was like, all right, I fuck with Mantar. Like, I was like, dude, I want to go, dude. I want to play with Mantar, dude. That band fucking rules, dude. I was like, 2 guys. That's like the easiest thing, dude. It's like, dude. Barren Heir has 3 members, dude. It is so much fucking easier, dude. And then like, I got Bovice because like Tevin left Bovice earlier this year. Like he, like, I love that guy, but he's got a lot on his plate with his life, and I'm like, yeah, dude, fucking being a hardcore band, is gonna feed your family and shit. So fucking like he gracefully stepped down, but it's like, yo, being a 4-piece so much easier, bro. But like because like Thieves is a 5-piece too, and like yeah, it's hard to coordinate with everybody. But then like Barren Heir is a 3-piece, fucking cake, baby.
Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Yeah, man.
Dude, thank you for having me, man. Fucking,
this has been awesome.
We gotta end it, dude. Can we hang out again?
Yeah, we're gonna get something figured out, you know, as far as even having on, you know, talking some more shit and being able to do, you know, possibly a show or two, get some things going. So that would be awesome, man. This has been so fucking cool. Yeah. I'll have this edited and I'll have it on YouTube here. I'm catching up on all this shit right now. Work's been kind of crazy and life and different things. So, but this has been so fucking sick, man. I really appreciate it, and
I appreciate
we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much. Hell yeah, man. Be well.
All right, man. You as well. Take care.
Peace.
See ya.
He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi a horror guy. Yeah. Lo-fi horror guy has been recorded in front of a live studio audience.